In the 18th century, South Carolina was the richest colony in America, much richer than the New England colonies. And that wealth came from rice. In the 1600s, the English crown wanted the colony to produce a product that wasn't produced in England. And that particular product was rice. There's a story in this book by E.C. McCants, History and Stories and Legends of South Carolina, that tells of the two slaves, a man and a woman from Madagascar, who wound up in Charleston. She, by the way of a pirate, John Thurber, came on his ship, and he, by an Arab slave trader. They wound up in Charleston and were bought by a man named Henry Woodward, Dr. Henry Woodward. So he had the man and woman slave from Madagascar, and found that with her she had a bag of what looked like seeds. Indeed, it was rice that she was using for food because they grew that in Madagascar. And Henry Woodward was very interested in these seeds, and he says, I tell you, if you can get this to grow here, I'll see that you'll be well taken care of for the rest of your life. Well, sure enough, over the season of the year, the slaves from Madagascar did grow rice. Henry Woodward, true to his word, built them a nice little hut with a few acres to grow their own rice, and they were indeed happy for the rest of their life. And South Carolina found that crop, which would make them the richest English colony in the New World. The production of rice is extremely labor intensive, and for that reason, thousands of Africans were bought from African slave owners and brought to America and sold to the South Carolinians. The Africans brought many skills with them. Many Africans came from that part of Africa that grew rice. They were familiar with growing rice. And indeed, they brought some of the rice growing skills to America with them, such as using the tides to flood their fields. And later, watermills were used to process the rice. This greatly increased rice productivity and made South Carolina the richest of the American colonies. A class of people, aristocrats, the rice barons, developed from this rice culture. As they say, all good things come to an end. After the American Civil War, rice production decreased. Many think it was because the slaves were freed, but that wasn't the only reason. Europe found cheaper rice from the Far East and India. Not as good a quality as American rice, but it was much less expensive. Today, rice is no longer grown commercially in South Carolina. American rice is grown in Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas. But in the middle 18th century, rice made South Carolina the richest colony of the American colonies.